Lions Rock Productions.
This is Mick Gillette.
This is Jay Moore.
This is Greg Proops.
This is Gabby Reese.
This is Nate Boyer.
This is Artemis Prime.
This is Nathan East.
This is Wes Maybe.
This is J.R. Robinson.
This is Dexter from the Osprey.
This is Dr. Bob Greenberg.
Hey, this is John Leon Guerrero.
Hey, I'm Mark Valley.
Hey, and this is Pete A. Turner.
Hey, this is John Leon Guerrero.
Hey, and this is Pete A. Turner.
And now, the Break It Down Show with John Leon Guerrero, Mark Valley, and Pete A. Turner.
Album fight time of the week.
Yeah, fight time. I'm so stoked to do this. It's also Women's History Month, so we're accidentally but respectfully submitting two women in this fight.
That's right. In celebration of International Women's Day, which passed a few days ago, I heard. Man, we love women. Everybody knows that.
Got no problem with women.
Today's matchup features two examples of female empowerment in music, though, and these albums are fierce challenges to any sense of demure or passive relationship roles or gender roles in general, and departures for both artists from their previous works. So, okay, here comes the announcement. In the red corner, Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill had 6 singles on it that kept the album on the Billboard Top 200 for more than a year. It has sold over 33 million copies. The language, the musical textures, and the vocal recordings were raw, out in the open, and unapologetic. The songs were produced and co-written by Glenn Ballard.
Holy shit.
That guy's a legend. And they featured guest appearances from the likes of Benmont Tench. I love Benmont. Dave Navarro, Flea. Was a worldwide phenomenon. Many would say that it opened the doors for female artists like Katy Perry, Avril Lavigne, Michelle Branch, and
Pink.
even today's and even today's opponent. In the blue corner, Pink and her second studio album, Missundaztood, was exec produced by L.A. Reid, who took a chance on this record. For our listeners who don't know his work, he was a co-founder of LaFace Records with Babyface, which was home to mostly black artists, to include Toni Braxton, TLC, Kenny Lattimore, Outkast, Usher. But he saw Pink and snatched her up. She started off as a pop artist, and as she found her identity as an artist, he stayed with her and encouraged her individuality. And what he got was an artist who sings with soul and dexterity, but who knows herself and owns her lane. This album was largely a collaboration with Linda Perry from Four Non Blondes and features appearances by Steven Tyler, Richie Sambora, Dallas Austin, and Scott Storch. It has 4 singles that were in the top 20, 3 of them that were in the top 10, sold over 13 million units, and broke Pink into the superstar status that she's enjoyed ever since. So, really, if there's a difference between these two records, Alanis Morissette hit one out of the stratosphere. She did not even hit it out of the park. She hit it out of the stratosphere.
Yeah.
And then was largely quiet after that. And Pink, on the other hand, didn't sell quite as many, although 13 million units is pretty fucking impressive.
That's still the diamond class.
Yeah, but she's stuck around ever since, so.
Yeah, we think of Pink as being a newer artist, but really, let's be honest, she's been around for decades now. And this album does establish her as a lifetime act. No doubt about it. So
yeah, it really does.
I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say about the album. Before we actually break down the fight, we've got Richard Lackey with his notes. So here's Richard.
Thanks, guys. At first glance, people might see this as an odd pairing, kind of differing styles and differing decades. But if you look closely, these albums represent very similar themes and have a similar impact on both performers' careers. Both started out in teen dance pop, and both recorded multiple albums in that genre before these. While one would initially think Jagged Little Pill is the larger departure, Pink does start to explore more grown-up themes and lyrics in hers as well. Both albums explore opinionated, strong women, love, heartache, and most importantly, standing up for themselves. And these albums prepared both of them to megastardom. Also interesting is both of these albums were heavy collaborations with veteran songwriters. For Jagged Little Pill, you had Glenn Ballard, who'd worked with Stevie Nicks, Van Halen, and this guy you might have heard of, Michael Jackson. He was influential on the Thriller album and the Bad album, so this guy is as heavy hitter as it comes. But then Pink has got Linda Perry, who, from Four Non-Blondes from the 90s, who's worked with Gwen Stefani, Christina Aguilera, Adele, Alicia Keys, any diva from the 2000s. This woman can write music. And these were the breakout albums for these individuals. Now, these albums are only 6 years apart, but they feel like decades apart because of all the changes in the music industry and everything. And whereas one feels like it's an album, the other feels like more of a collection of singles, but that can be deceiving. Let's look at the tale of the tape. Missundaztood was 6 times platinum. Billboard's Decade in Chart, number 38. That's nothing to shake a stick at. With 13 million units sold worldwide. But Jagged Little Pill was not only a Grammy Album of the Year, Record of the Year, 4 Grammys won, certified platinum 16 times over, Billboard Decades in Charts, number 1, with 33 million units worldwide. That album is a monster. So as far as this fight has to do with, I think you're looking at rounds 2, 3, and 4 are going to be brutal, and that's where they're both going to show their heavy hitters, and they're going to come out fighting. My concerns are, can Pink keep it up in the middle rounds? Because Morissette, in rounds 7 through 10, still has some very, very heavy hitters. If Pink can get some lucky shots in the mid-rounds, it may very well come down to the last couple songs on both albums. But both albums kind of end on a little bit of a whimper, so it might come down to a fight against filler. And while Pink is huge and a titanic force in current musical landscape, I just don't think this is the album to go up against Jagged Little Pill. It's just a monster. So my prediction, Jagged Little Pill, 9 rounds to 4 rounds for Pink. Back to you guys.
Hey, thanks, Richard.
Thanks, Richard.
Well, all right. We're going to see what happens now. I mean, it's all the prelims are over. The mouth guards are in. Are you ready to do this thing, John?
Yeah, man. Richard's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, just to reiterate why we do this because we love these artists, and we are picking winners here, which kind of rubs some people weird, but the fact is that they wouldn't be in this fight if they weren't championship contenders. So I love Alanis Morissette's music so much. I love everything that she did and stood for and what she gave us in this record. And I love, love, love Pink. She's one of my favorite artists ever.
I want to add this to that.
So
I want to add this. Yeah.
Buy these records.
Buy the records, of course. We want you guys to support that. Even if you're spinning in Spotify, you're moving them up in their rankings. So this really is an exercise in supporting these guys. So buy the music. I mean, who listened to Pink on purpose in the last week in the entire world? Like we all did. We want Pink to be remembered. We want Alanis' work to be remembered. And people were talking about Alanis' dates on Twitter. This creates a buzz. That's what we want to do. We want to have these conversations. That's it.
Yes, indeed. So round 1.
Boy.
Missundaztood versus All I Really Want.
Yeah.
I'm not that wild about the programming on Jagged Little Pill.
Okay.
It's droning, and it's right on top of the beat, and it's perfect for the record, but just not my cup of tea, or a little less my cup of tea. I love the silence bit in All I Really Want, and I like her enunciation. I love her harmonica work, but I gave this round to Missundaztood. I thought it was a gutsy way to start the album. It made a clear statement from the beginning of the work that it would be a departure, and I enjoyed the bounciness of the prose. Worth noting that it was produced by Damon Elliott. Go Damon, go Linda. And Damon Elliott has had a great career as well, and is the offspring of jazz drummer Bill Elliott and Dionne Warwick.
Yeah, I had this round going towards Alanis, and these ladies come out and they start swinging. Someone's going to win the round. And obviously, it's so close that we split it. But Missundaztood for me, actually, I said it's pop. It's safe in terms of kicking off an album. The drums for me, they're too machine-like. If it's played by somebody, then give me something more. The song, while catchy, and it's never bad to have Linda Perry helping you write songs and lyrics. Linda's a monster in her own right. So it's got all the pieces. It does come out great. I think Pink's album kind of speaks more to the macro meta, powerful woman. I'm this. I'm going to be in your face. I'm going to do these things. But I have this tender side too. So she's kind of breaks out of her own interpersonal thing and lets other people have this view, which is partly partly due to the influence of Alanis. And Alanis is looking at I call this Gen X deliverance. This is how we lived our lives, as we got into their mid-20s. We're all sorting things out. We're getting our hearts broken for the first time.
That's true.
And this is a breakup album, but it's also the album for, just like Nirvana from last week's fight, where you have the kid that needs lithium to get through the day and goes through a divorce and all. Same kind of tones, these same, latchkey kid vibes are happening. And I'm figuring this out, and she's kind of just teaching us all, like, what these things are. And I think when it talks about all I really want, she wants basic things. She says she wants, patience, deliverance, justice. She doesn't want to be tied. She wants comfort, peace. I want you to get me. I want to be kindred. I want to be a soulmate. And soulmates were a big thing for all of us Gen X folks back then in the early to mid 90s. We're all looking for this soulmate. These are the things I want. It seems so easy, and yet that stuff's so hard. And this album kind of goes to that. For me, a lot of, and lyrics matter a lot to me, John. So as I look at what they pull off and what they go for, I have, if I'm going to find fault, I find fault with the drums and the pop sensibilities against the grittiness and the Gen X deliverance that Alanis brings.
I think we're going to see a great matchup that's going to find its separation in the very beginning. Not sequentially, but just from the foundation of songwriting, which of course is poetry.
Yeah.
We're going to see some differences in poetry on this record. So, we split round one.
We do.
Round two, You Ought to Know.
Yeah.
Versus Don't Let Me Get Me.
And this is another one where you have both albums have their predominant hits. If you want to say that Let's Get the Party Started as a big hit, that's fine. We're talking the best songs from the albums, and You Ought to Know is right there with it. And You Ought to Know, for me, is Alanis at her absolute best. It's when she takes the most chances, explains something that's not been explained from a point of view ever in pop music, and she gets there. She's balancing all these different emotions. It's an argument that all of us have had, right? She's like, there's snark, but there's hurt, and all of these things are in there,
Yeah.
She's not confident, yet she's fearless. She wants to be good enough, and now she's pissed at you, pissed at herself, pissed at the whole thing, that this whole thing didn't work out. And I don't care if it's about Dave Coulier or not. It's about Gen X breaking up with someone who they thought was going to be their soulmate, and the contract got broken, and we're all pissed off about it. This taught me as a dude how to be a better dude. That's how good this song is.
Yeah, man. You know what? That's really, really strong. And that's really what happens with a great piece of art, right? Is that it teaches us lessons. It shows us our humanity.
Yeah.
It creates a depth of understanding of the other side, whatever the other side is, that allows you to go, maybe I ought to behave a little differently. Alanis Morissette wrote and recorded the vocals on the song and then turned it over to Dave Navarro and Flea to figure out the music.
Yeah.
And holy shit.
That was smart.
Yeah, you're talking about the combination of the depth of content that you bring up. And then, who ought to strum this out? Maybe I'd get Dave Navarro. And then Flea, he fucking murdered the bass track on this thing. Ben Montench from the Heartbreakers plays the organ. Matt Logg plays the drums. This is a good time for me to say that I love Taylor Hawkins.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't play the drums on this album, but once Alanis Morissette became a live act, he was the drummer, the touring drummer, and he's ridiculous. But Matt Logg played the drums on the record, and he was also ridiculous. Not sure why he didn't hit the road with him. But, of course, to get back to Taylor Hawkins, who I love, he is now the drummer for the Foo Fighters. He left this act when she was the biggest thing in the universe to go with the untested. We don't know what's going to happen to this band Foo Fighters. Turned out to be a pretty good bet. But
yeah,
Don't Let Me Get Me is a great song about independence. I like that she even mentions breaking out of L.A. Reid's Pop Star Recipe. It was produced by Dallas Austin, who did a great job programming on this song. But it's no match. You ought to know.
Yeah. I agree. And I got a couple more things to say about this. One of the things about Alanis' record is it gets discovered early on. First off, this song allows you to work with Glenn Ballard directly. He gets you all of a sudden when you deliver this.
Yep.
You know, and that makes all the difference. And because Glenn Ballard is working on it, because it's strong, K-Rock finds it. And if K-Rock finds you and plays you, the entire decade pays attention.
Back then.
That's what happened to Offspring. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that's how it works.
We lived in a time when that could happen, and it happened for her, and for every good reason. I don't know if K-Rock is, whether they have the independence to spin something, whether the DJs there can say, I found this great record and the world needs to know about it, or whether it's owned by Clear Channel and they have to put everything through the machine. But yeah, that certainly happened for this record for all the right reasons.
Absolutely. I mean, same thing that Dexter Holland said when he was on the show with us before. He talked about K-Rock found them and played them. Yep. And that's absolutely a major part, if not the most important part. You can have all the tunes in the world, but if K-Rock doesn't care, no one else in LA does. And that doesn't break you out.
It's a longer road.
For sure. I do also want to mention, too, I love this Pink song. I think it's great. There's nothing wrong with this song. It's just one of these songs is a generational hit, and the other one is a very, very good song that you can tour on the rest of your life, and everyone's going to get up and shake their ass and dance. That's the difference here. There is no difference. It's just
shake their ass and dance.
Greatness.
Remember a breakup. Remember a time in their lives where they were figuring it out.
Yeah.
Remember this song helping them figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of depth and a lot of layers to this song that are terrific.
Yeah, and Pink doing Don't Let Me Get Me, singing that for anybody in high school, but especially those girls that are like, I'm not the pretty one. Even if they are, how many girls don't think that they are? How many girls aren't comfortable with what they perceive about themselves? And this song gives you an anthem. Fuck, I got all day long for that. All day.
Yeah. This is one of the songs that makes me really like why Pink does that. But,
yeah,
but it does have a limit to how much it means to your humanity. It's cute.
Yeah. So let's go on to the next round. Let's do round 3.
Round 3 is Just Like a Pill versus Perfect. Okay. I have a feeling we're going to split this round too, but this track was recorded at Dallas Austin's place, and I loved the programming and production of this song. The drums have a great feel. I love the triangle. I love the guitar. The composition of the song just feels so good. It shows Dallas Austin's versatility, and Pink is amazing for writing something that required of him to stretch. I mean, what else did he do? How about Get In Where You Fit In by Too Short? So, I mean, he's clearly an amazing hip-hop producer, but for him to do Just Like a Pill, it's Perfect is a song of such sensitive subject matter, but I just liked it less. And as good as it is, it's about a parent who's a dick, and that's fucked up. But it's ultimately just whiny to me, as much as I know it means to a lot of people. And we'll revisit family dynamics a little later in this fight, but I gave round 3 to Pink.
I also gave it to Pink, too. I see this being, Dallas Austin is a powerful songwriter. He wrote songs for Fishbone. He can do whatever the hell he wants. He's written songs for Boyz II Men.
Anything he wants.
Yeah, and he's a pro. So he knows how to build a song, knows how to make a hit, and when he gets it right, you win awards, and it's a strong song. Both of these songs are transitional, I think. We've come out with the big, hard beginning, and now we're going to get into the meat of the song. And here's Pink standing up on her own 2 feet, swinging back. There's nothing wrong with Perfect, but it is one of the weaker songs in this album, and when you compare it to You Ought to Know, you see it. So she's struggling with reality of what's happening and more Gen X stuff, and just Like a Pill is better. And I liked it better. I loved all the other instruments, like you said. I think there was a cowbell in there for a couple of strikes every now and then. The one thing I do fault about Just Like a Pill, if I'm going to be picky, is that line about how she's trying to get a hold of the nurse again, but she's being a little bitch. I need more from them on that. I think the song is better served when you rhyme something else in, because it doesn't make that much sense. You're talking about someone being a bitch, and then you keep coming back like, why? What does that even mean with, with this whole thing? It just doesn't. It didn't. It was a missed opportunity to really do something different with the song. And again, I'm telling a professional songwriter how to do better, but that is something I have to point out.
I have to say, I liked the way that they did that. Yeah, and they may have repeated that refrain a number of times, but the song is about, it sort of compares life to addiction, and I'm trying to get the nurse again, but she's being a little bitch, is me ringing the bell for more medicine, and the medicine's not coming.
Yeah.
And I'm playing the blame game.
Then give that to me.
I don't know. I think I kind of
give that to me more clearly. I don't know. I just even though we give the round there, there are neither one of these songs are the best examples of the work on either one. Strong round for Pink though, 10-9.
Yeah. Okay. I just really like the triangle. The triangle's awesome. Round 4 is Hand in My Pocket versus Get This Party Started. Now, Get This Party Started is an anthem. And I'll tell you, it was a magic bullet for a DJ, which I was a DJ in 2001 when this album came out. So I have to love it. It, saved the party several times or fired up the party several times. It was what I needed right when I needed it on more nights than I could ever count. That said, it can't stand up to Hand in My Pocket. This is Alanis Morissette. To me, you mentioned Alanis Morissette at her poetic peak. We're in round 4. You've mentioned a peak. I'm mentioning a peak here. The, I'm this but I'm that interplay, that's inescapable.
Yeah.
Her willingness to betray the rhyme scheme whenever she fucking feels like it. I got one hand in my pocket and the other one's flicking a cigarette. Masterful. That's the perfect example of, I know the rules. I'm going to bend them when I fucking feel like it. And, she blows a harp that's perfectly suited, but it's accessible. You can't beat this song. Can't beat it. Hand in My Pocket, hands down.
I think Pink beats it. I squarely give the round to Pink. And how many times have we said this? I love this song. I love this song on the album. I like the change of pace weirds. I loved anytime there's a song that's just slightly different, like Walking in Your Footsteps. Love that song. Bullet the Blue Sky doesn't quite fit. Love that song. And I think this song's the same thing. She does a great job with the lyric. When I look at the album as a whole, and this dynamic does not work on Pink, so I don't use it as much, but back when they made an album as a complete journey, this is one of those things. And she's like kind of doing her resume. She's like, nah, I am all right. I'm a cool chick. Look, you do, and again, super Gen X-y, you do what you got to do. I'm going to do what I got to do. And, I'm not going to worry that much about what you're doing. It's your business. So she's saying that like I am a cool chick. I smoke. I got a peace sign. Hey, whatever. This is good. I'm a good person. I don't understand why all this breakup crap happened to me. Why am I struggling so hard? I'm good, And so we'll hear more about that kind of thing. But she's the cool chick. Yeah, she's a little crazy. Yeah, she's a little temperamental. But she also gets to be these things. But then you slam up against Get the Party Started. And, when you have Linda Perry write for you, you let her have a song because she can deliver this. When she finds, and I've read a whole thing about it and listened to her talk about it, and it's one of those magic times where the song just arrives basically, and she just goes through and it's like, I knew this part, I knew that part, and it shows up. The beat is modern. Pink is a great performer. She knows how to sell this song. Even if you don't see the video, you hear the video in your head as she's doing it. So it's...
Yes.
Yeah, self-deprecating. She's got a modern sensibility in terms of her fashion and her demeanor and all these things. And this is a woman, this is her doing a party rock song. And, I'm hard on party rock songs. Like, you've got to, you're going to have to give me more than a party rock song unless you find Bergie's Edge. And this is the time on the album where she finds Bergie's Edge, where it's not too, sometimes there's too much Pink in a song, too much undertone, too much her being too aggressive, too hard, too much extra talking, and it distracts me. But this time, bam, she sticks it and you're just like, yeah, Yes, let's get the party started. So I love it. And at this point in the fight, I've got 2 rounds apiece, and I'm wondering what the heck is going to happen next, because we're about to get into the hard stuff now.
Yeah, that's true. I may have handicapped get this party started just because I leaned on it as a DJ.
Uh-huh.
And so now that I hear your comments about it, I totally get where you're coming from. And you're right. You're absolutely right. And I may have viewed it through the opposite of rose-colored lenses just because I was like, well, it's a little too, it's formulaic. I mean, let's face it. She's got an opening number for her show for the rest of her fucking career.
Yeah.
So,
like you said, any DJ, you're a wedding DJ and you play It Takes Two, Funky Cole Medina, you play Get the Party Started, and you're 15 minutes into your first set and everybody's stoked, So when you get it that right, I got to give it to you. Because I will hold it against you when the party rock thing isn't great.
I didn't think we would be splitting round 4.
We did.
Round 5 is Respect versus Right Through You.
Well, one of the things about Pink is that she's so multi-talented. She can do a lot of different styles. And I think this was by design. This is almost like a resume album where you're like, let's show off what she can do so we can get some more things, because she can't do this stuff herself. So they get her out and she does her own production of Respect. And it's a nice song and it's a bold choice to go for it. She definitely shows off that versatility, but I don't need a rap song from Pink. I know that she does that kind of thing. And maybe she insisted on having a rap song, but this is not when she gets it right, and she fails to nail it. And when you go for something big and you miss, it counts. And in our fight kind of way of telling the story, she comes out, she's like, oh yeah, well, check out me switching to the left-hander, and I'm going to start throwing hooks. And against Alanis, that doesn't work. Because Alanis comes back with Right Through You. And, this is kind of her version, her perspective of Lion Eyes from the Eagle. And I went and listened to the Eagle song. And, if you can write a song along the lines of what Glenn Frey does and get there with him, then you've got an excellent song. And that's what this song is. She's on that next first date. This guy asked me out. I'm broken up. I'm going to go out. And she's just left cold because this guy's just looking at her ass, and while it's a young thing, it's an older guy for sure that sees her. She goes on this, and delivering that as we go through her catalog of getting through this breakup, there is another date. This is it. And that story took me to a place that Pink, with her Respect song, not nailing it, I didn't see it. So I gave the round to Alanis.
It takes big brass balls to be signed to an R&B record label in the South and sing a song about R-E-S-P-E-C-T. So it is a swing for the fence. I love the opening. The background vocal is cool. Even, I know she's doing a rap song and you don't need her to do a rap song, but the way she raps over the drums is a cool break compositionally in the song. I like all the reveals of all the percussive layers. It's got the cowbell, the wah-wah buried in there, and the slithery bass line, and the harmonies that she sings are terrific. So that chord is great. It's even got Scratch from the Roots beatboxing. But you're absolutely right, man. See Right Through You is a monster. The vocals on that song, the poetry is biting, it's sarcastic, it's angry. Now that I'm Miss Thing, now that I'm a zillionaire, you scan the credits for your name and wonder why it's not there. Fuck! That she knows how to make him smarmy.
Yeah.
And the added dynamic that it's probably about Dave Coulier. I went round 5 to Alanis too. It wasn't close.
I thought one of the funny things is both of them chose to use a lyric in the song where it's very cliche, man, like getting it wrong. There's the Wine Dine 69 line in Alanis' song. And then Pink goes with the "What's your sign?"
Yeah.
It's hilarious that in this round, when they're both doing this Respect thing, both at the same time, which again, never planned out, clearly, because we're the only dumbasses that thought we're going to fight this thing round by round. But here they are.
Yeah.
And they both are calling us dudes to the carpet to demand some respect. So I love it. It was fun to go through that and look at that. And there were so many rich textural things that I've not even talked about in the sake of getting this show in an hour. But man,
Right.
round 5 for me was fun, but Alanis 10-9 for me.
There is a lot of that texture that's in there, and once again, we are the beneficiaries of stupid coincidence.
This episode of the Break It Down Show is brought to you by Lions Rock Productions.
That's us.
We publish, evaluate, and develop podcasts just like this one, consult others to build their own, and create associated content and content marketing strategies.
So if you're launching or expanding your social media presence, your business or your personal brand, or if you just want to take your media presence to the next level,
Reach out to us on Twitter
at Pete A. Turner,
or at JohnLG69.
at The Break It Down Show.
There's 1,000 ways to get a hold of us.
Now enjoy the show.
Round 6 was 18-wheeler versus Forgiven. Now, I love me a song about freaky Catholic girls. And I really do love that hallelujah part on this song. I love that part. But this isn't one of the stronger tracks on the record. And 18-wheeler is Dallas Austin back at work. I love this almost as much for him as I do for Pink. His beats are so dope on this album. That splashy, wet backbeat, the acoustic guitar strum that it's paired with. The musical phrasing and melodic play remind me of George Michael, I Want Your Sex. So I'm going to just go back and listen to 18-wheeler and think about I Want Your Sex. And you'll hear the influence, I think. And Pink fucking sings her ass off. Forgiven just didn't. It's just not one of her strongest ones, and so I gave round 6 to Pink.
Well, we definitely disagree here. For me, 18-wheeler is a filler song. You know, it just, when you have the ability to hire great songwriters, and there's no doubt that Austin is among that group, you know, you're going to write songs that are good enough to get on a record. But in this case, in this context, it doesn't, for me, fly well. It's predictable. It's just not up to the caliber of being. Look, Alanis' album is one of the greatest albums of all time. You don't sell 33 million albums because it's a weak album. I mean, this is a transformative, generational and genre establishing album. You know, it just breaks out women. We had Madonna and all this, but it kept that bell ringing. And like, yeah, a couple years later, Pink can come out and sing from a position of empowerment, less self-doubt, like I am this. Whereas Alanis is softer, like I'm this, you know. So this one begats the next one, and there's a big thing there. Funny, the last couple of album fights we've had, U2 sings about Judas and Jesus, and there's this whole contempt and like, you know, how do you let this happen to me, you know, kind of thing. And then Sting sings about God and, you know, like my face is bruised and torn. And here we are at the same thing where we have the Catholic girl guilt. Like I went out and I had this relationship, this adult relationship, and everybody else is in the party doing the same thing. What, am I not forgiven? And she says, if I jump in this fountain, will I be forgiven? You know, like she's questioning, like, what is real now? Why do I have to feel bad for being an adult, making adult decisions? We all had delusions in our head. We all had made up our minds for us. We had to believe in something, so we did. Okay. All right. You did.
That's fucked up. Yeah. My comment was I liked it less. That's all I had.
But this is what happens when you have a pro songwriter who can put a song together that you're like, yeah, that'll work, versus something that is different. It's just not that Alanis is a better songwriter than Austin. It's just, it's better. It's just there's a higher quality. It's writing from a different place. One is from a professional place. One is from a place of emotion. And she gets the emotion to flow. If you read the lyric and you hear the song, it's just powerful. The other thing I would say about 18-wheeler is, you know, it's 2 verses and repeating the chorus a bunch of times, which is a very standard formula. Again, this is what you're putting up against Alanis. And at 3:45, the song's too long. It's just not enough there to compete against a song that's much deeper about reckoning with God. And as much as I love Dallas Austin, who wrote Hit 'Em Up Style, by the way, it's, and Don't Let Me Get Me from a couple rounds earlier, he certainly can write a championship level song. This isn't it.
Okay. Round 7 is Family Portrait versus You Learn.
Yeah. Well, look, I grew up in a house where the parents didn't get along. They fought hard. They called each other names. And my folks fought and got along so poorly that when I went to my friends' houses where the parents loved each other, I thought they were putting me on. I was waiting for the trap door to fall out from underneath me. So I definitely identified with this song. And though I've heard the song a bunch of times, I hadn't really put it all together until I sat there, read the lyric, and listened to the music a couple of times. And I did. I had to go through it a couple of times. I love the grit. I love the soul. I love everything about this song. I think it's fantastic. But for me, and I know this will sound crazy, You Learn is a knockdown round. I think You Learn is significantly better than what was delivered in Family Portrait. This is, again, Alanis at her absolute career peak, doing what it does. And Pink comes out and is incredible. But the emotional impact of what Alanis delivers in You Learn, this is her, reckoned. She's reckoned with the date. She's reckoned with God. And then she's like, I'm going to get outside and go live my life. You live, you learn. And this is, we keep finding these songs in these album fights. This is Billy Joel, the guy, I'm going to sell the shop and move. I'm going to go do what I need to do. She's like, I fell in love. I did a bunch of crap. It didn't work out. And I'm just going to keep on going. And for me, that kind of, it's like a summation of where we've been on the album so far, and we're going to see how that transition happens. But it's such a neat album tool to go break up and rage and Christ and all these things, and now she lands at You Live, You Learn. Just simplified it, and now she's going to move on.
Okay, well, I love You Learn, and the theme of bad decisions leading to life's wisdom and all that. I love the video, by the way. It's got Alanis Morissette in dreadlocks in a sweatsuit, looking fine, doing cartwheels. And I dig it. And it was one of the things that made me dig her so much. For me, it's running into an emotional buzzsaw of Family Portrait. I grew up in a house where my mom and dad loved each other. And still love each other, and almost corny love each other. And so for me to hear her emotion in Family Portrait, we get back to the expressions of fucked up family dynamics. And where Perfect to me was whiny, we have Pink taking on the family dynamic of this rough relationship on herself. And as kids often do. And I heard that pain, and I thought, what an enormously lucky experience I had, because I never had to beg my dad to stay. And to hear her say, Daddy, don't leave, I'll be better.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, heavy.
Mom didn't mean those things, and there's just so much heaviness in there that I can't. This song's got me by the nuts, man. And I thought it was, for Pink, this is her being what I think you described as a little too much Pink in a song. But it's what I dug, and I gave Family Portrait to Pink.
There you go. Nothing like some great art to make us disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just said I loved the song, and I mean, it meant so much to me, and it still made it a knockdown round. I mean, that's...
Yeah, you scored a knockdown round.
I know. Well, the thing, I listened to them in that order too. I went from the Pink song to the Alanis song, and I kind of do a snake thing where I let either one lead off, and I thought, man, there's no way to.
That's what I do too.
Yeah, and I there's no way to beat that song. It's so powerful. And then she came out and reasoned with her own adulthood, and I'm like, God damn. This is the older version of that kid.
Well, I guess.
Yeah, I grew up in that house. I've had these mistakes. I've talked to God. I've gone on this shitty date, and this is what I'm going to do with this. And so just maybe, I don't know. She definitely has an advantage of being a Gen X sweet spot for us, and these transitional things all happening at the same time. Me going, God damn, I'm a bit of a jerk. I've got to really improve myself. And so, I've tried to wash my bias out, but yeah, I love what this song is. And then also, as this kind of closes outside too, I'm starting to worry about what Pink has left in the tank. Like there has to be a couple more big anthemic songs, and I don't know that the songwriting is going to be able to hold up to what Alanis keeps delivering, because even when she misses, it's still so good with the words,
Okay. Well, let's go to round 8 and see how it keeps going. Round 8's Misery versus Head Over Feet. I love Misery and everything about it. I love a slow blues number. I love dotted 16th notes as a player. I love Richie Supa, who co-wrote it, and I love Marty Fredrickson, who produced it. They're Steven Tyler's team, and I love his vocals in a song just like this one. This is perfectly paired for Steven Tyler to sing with Pink, and I love that Pink did it and reached for it. But as a slow blues number with dotted 16th notes goes, it is predictable. And Head Over Feet is about the best example of true love. This is her saying, I have found a person who I love so much that all the things that you will do to impress me, you already won me over. You already won me over. And I think that for all of the emotional roller coaster things that are great about great art, every once in a while to have somebody perfectly articulate, I love you so much and so uncontrollably, and so you don't have to try. That's how much I already love you. And this song is a home run for me. Head Over Feet's amazing.
Yeah. This is where the fight for me starts to get a little ridiculous, because Misery, again, Pink is so talented and can do so many different things. Like you said, here's this blues number. She's moved between all these different styles. I think we hear a torch song later on. All of these things where you just like, you can ask so much of her, but when you're taking on another artist who's at her absolute best, doing one thing really, really well and being multifaceted in that one thing. But yeah, this is just, it's not even close. You're right. She falls in love again. You don't put me on that pedestal. I'm afraid of heights. Just be you. I love you. She did. She's reckoned with everything. And then she meets that I met a boy, that moment. And she's just absolutely loving being in love. And it's hard to beat that. When your heart has been broken so badly, when you're just amazed that someone else loves you again, like, oh, I didn't know this was even possible. She's giving us this moment. For me, when I was listening to the songs, I thought, man, this is going to be a 10-9 round for sure. But then she delivers the line, and then probably the line of her career, best friend with benefits. That's part of the vernacular for anybody now. Anybody. You can't write a better line than that. And so that for me was when that's just her just whipping one across the jaw of Pink, and Pink just boom down. And she fights her way back up because Pink's a badass, but she's looking at a ref hoping she can get through a round with some rubbery legs. And man, best friend with benefits. I know it's kind of cheesy. That's how good that line was. It just delivers that message when you're like, I'd never even considered that's what that thing is. And I don't know if that saying existed before then, but it had never been delivered like this.
There's something to that line being so good, but I think it's even better as it's aged in society and pop culture than it was when the record was new.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing that for me, where that line takes us is she'd done all these things like, I want this, I want that, I want that. Now, I just want my best friend with benefits. That's what I want. Look how simplified that list is. Like, this is an evolved person now talking, and she's dealing with that. I love it. This is a fantastic, fantastic song. And not one that I had really realized until I read it again and listened to it.
And it didn't need to be this deep in the album. This is also where the album is taking us on a journey. And that may be one of the separators in this fight as well.
Yeah.
Round 9 was Dear Diary versus Mary Jane.
Oh, boy. Well, look, for me, the fight is pretty much over at this point. I love what Linda Perry does. She can always write a song, just like Dallas Austin can. They write wonderful songs. But when something is put together for an artist like this, there is the potential to not get things as right as they could be, like in a band setting where you've got that song has to fight its way through 5, 6, 7 gates to get onto the album. And bands still have filler songs too, but this song is closer to filler than it is to wow. And this is, look, it's unfair. There's nothing wrong with this song at all. But in the context that we do, this is just not going to be enough. It's a fine song. And then you get Mary Jane, and I'm not sure what else Pink can do. If you're going to go toe for toe, if you're going to have professional songwriters and Alanis keeps outwriting them in terms of the lyric and what it means, it's, again, you sell 33 million albums. You don't have to agree with me, but there's a lot of people that have spent a lot of money on Alanis's music because they do agree. This is a better song. She's 19 years old and delivering these fantastic emotional things. What a performance. It's all Alanis. Fantastic. It's a 10-9 round for me.
She wins it on poetry and vocals. Dear Diary is just an okay song for Pink. And an okay song for Pink, it would be a fantastic song on anybody else's record. But for Pink, it's just okay. I've been a bad, bad girl. Okay, you've been a bad, bad girl. And the vocals. She's an amazing vocalist. Maybe to me, among, if not the best of her generation. I mean, if you look at Lady Marmalade, that featured the dream team of female vocalists, and she hung with anybody. So that's where she is vocally. Mary Jane, though, Alanis is just too strong. The poetry is too strong. Like you said, for somebody 19 years old to deliver something with this depth is, it is a remarkable album. And Mary Jane versus Dear Diary is not. It's not close. I gave it a 10-9 round because I think Pink's vocals are so strong that she remains on her feet. But it was a clear win. All right, round 10. Now we're getting to the point where this is like Tyson Holyfield, where it's like, well, Tyson might knock him out. But that's where we are. We're there. Ironic versus Eventually. Okay. So we're seeing the separation. It shows the difference between a terrific album and a fucking juggernaut. Powerhouse poetry and that great chorus and that thick ass chord. It's like rain on your wedding day and the big fill and the huge chorus. And this is when we were talking about Nirvana, and what they did really well was separate that verse that drew you in, because it was quiet, and then hammering on that chorus where it just pounds. And that's ironic.
Yeah.
Rain on Your Wedding Day. One of the strongest songs on the album versus Eventually, which you breeze past and don't even notice.
Yeah, I think that's right. Eventually is a song you breeze by. Maybe if you had a CD player, you just skip that one to get to the next good one or whatever. I hate to say a song's filler, but at this point, in the context that we're doing, there's just nothing. Pink can't hurt Alanis in the terms of the boxing sense. This is actually Pink doing U2, by the way, and it's sort of this torch songy kind of thing, and she can do so many things so well, and the song is an 8. But like you said, Ironic is a game-changing tune. Like, if you have 2 of these songs in your album, you can go out and play county fairs. If you have 4, 5 songs like this,
for the rest of your life,
yes, you can fill much bigger places.
Yeah, you can spend the summers charging $10,000 a week for your band for the rest of your life with 2 of these songs, and she had fucking 6 of them.
Yeah. This is, again, whoever thought that this would happen? That these 2 songs would be compared. But Ironic is a song that, again, I don't know how she keeps doing this. She keeps defining her era. And look how many, if there's a song that people have talked about more than Ironic since 1995 when they wrote it, I don't know what that song is. People have talked about the meaning of irony. The meaning of irony has moved more towards where that song is. And if people want to fault her for this, and I know that's a big funny thing, and I've fallen into this trap too, here's the thing. When you read the words that she writes, she puts herself in a poetry class where she can do whatever the fuck she wants with the word.
Yep.
When Bono goes 1, 2, 3, 14, that's the same thing. He can do whatever the fuck he wants because he says so. Deion Sanders can break all of the rules because he's a genius at running and performing. It's the same thing. Like Roger Clemens throws the ball at people's heads. He doesn't care what you think. He doesn't care if you can throw the ball at his head. He's
you can't tell him he can't.
He's Roger fucking Clemens. This is Alanis fucking Morissette, and she says it's ironic.
That's right.
Shut up. You know?
And you can't tell her she can't.
She could have called the song It Figures, and that would have fucked it up because no one would have talked about it.
Yeah. Well, she didn't.
She didn't. And
fucking at her peak.
This is 10-8 for me, by the way. And for me, like I'm looking at the corner. I'm looking at Pink's corner waiting to see that towel come flying because there's nothing that's good that's going to happen after this point. You know, again, just crushed.
I scored it 10-9, maybe out of being merciful.
Or maybe not. Like, you're in it, babe. Get out there and go fight. Yeah.
Well, let's continue with this exercise. I'm gonna take on some brevity here because I don't want to belabor the point. But round 11, Not the Doctor versus Lonely Girl.
Well, pretty much Alanis wins out all the rest of them. There's nothing in here that gives me a reason to think that the tracks that Alanis is putting out is any way inferior to what Pink has done. Here's what has happened is you've got professional people all the way around, and again, the songs don't. The bar to get through, like we're making an album, we're going to feature these songs, we need to fill the album out, is I think a legitimate guess on what happens here. And that's what we're filling out tracks 11 through 13 with, is just how do we get, what else do we need? You've got a song, Dallas, go ahead and hand that over and let's do it. Hey, Linda, can you and Damon Elliott get together and throw something together? And there's not anything wrong with them, but we have all the tools. We're going to play this drum machine. There's nothing left in these songs for me.
Hey, boss, I got something that kind of sounds like Madonna's music.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. Let's go. You know, it has gotten to where you're designing a menu, you've got an executive chef, and a fucking good one, and he's designing a menu, and it's time for dessert, and he's going to offer up a creme brulee, and all that shit.
If you want a non-Pete opinion piece of proof, type in Pink, Numb in a search, and you're going to get Pink Floyd songs. You are not going to see this song from Pink. It won't be in the list.
Oh, yeah. This song is invisible.
Buried, yeah.
We're still talking about round 11, Not the Doctor versus Lonely Girl.
Right.
But we'll get to, and we could really just sum it up because you're right. We're there. I love the plucky guitar in Not the Doctor. The single malt whiskey in the bottom drawer line, that's fucking awesome. And again, I'll rhyme or not when I fucking feel like it. And the way she comes back from the great chorus to the verses, so good, so strong. And, you know, Lonely Girl is good, but not as good as Not the Doctor. It reminds me of a Beatles song kind of for some reason, so you can hear that influence there. But I'm giving it way too much credit by even saying that. It is just it's a recipe. Let's finish the album. Let's whip up some creme brulee. And the lyrics are okay, but they're not that clever. And there's nothing in there that compares to single malt whiskey in the bottom drawer. So that's round 11. Round 12. Numb versus Wake Up. More of the same. You're right. I mean, that's funny that you typed in Pink and Numb and you got Pink Floyd Comfortably Numb. Because that's a classic and it speaks to people and it talks of the human condition and it speaks to real pain and all that shit. And this is comparatively speaking, it's invisible.
Yeah. And when you're trying to go against Wake Up, here's your crazy girlfriend going through your stuff. She loves you so much she wants to smell your robe and your clothes and stuff. So it's like, Alanis is back on the same journey. She's a little bit crazy, a little bit fun, a little bit cool, a little bit religious, and she's going through your stuff. So there's just no separation enough to even worry about it for me. It's still, I'm going to continue to go 10-9 because the fight continues to be over for me.
Yeah. Here's the dilemma with this last bit is that we have Gone to California on Missundaztood and My Vietnam against the Jimmy the Saint blend of You Oughta Know and Your House, which is the deep mystery song, the hidden track.
You Oughta Know is good enough to beat whatever's left on the album by itself without the hidden track, It's so good. It can look. Eddie Money plays Two Tickets to Paradise as many fucking times as the crowd wants to hear it. So, as much as I'm being a little bit silly, there's another hidden track in the mid '90s with their damn hidden tracks. But here it is. There's nothing on Pink's last song that matters at all in terms of beating what Alanis is doing, whether it's My Vietnam or Gone to California. Gone to California is a theme for a lot of songs. Pick any one of those songs, and it's better.
Oh, shit. Damn. Yeah, okay. Well, the thing about My Vietnam was it was a nice try at something, but it is the knockoff of Madonna's music. And there was a hot production technique that people were using right then, and it was an opportunity to use that technique, which was kind of hot right in the 2000, 2001 time frame, and that was what that was. In terms of the poetry of the song, that's your Vietnam. If that's your Vietnam, I don't think you understood what the fuck Vietnam was for people. So, I love Pink. I love, love, love Pink. But this song to me was a little young and a little green. And then we get to Your House, which was Alanis Morissette in a fucking room with a microphone in it and her fucking naked ability to emote. And as Missundaztood got more formulaic and was just finishing out for the sake of finishing out, she decided to say, no, turn everything else off. Flea, thank you for coming. Dave Navarro, thank you for coming. Glenn, just hit the record button and let me sit here for a while. And the cool thing about the hidden track, and this being the hidden track, was, to me, and this is my imagination working, but she just sat in that room by herself for a while. And I know you fucking do the shit in mastering and all that stuff. It's a contrived thing. But you can, if you listen to it this way, and perhaps you did, but if you listen to it this way, it's her being in that room by herself and Glenn Ballard fucking turning around in the engineer's booth and going and getting a cup of coffee. Yeah. And just leaving the tape rolling. And then she gets up and just decides to sing when she's fucking ready and fucking kills. This is sick.
Yeah.
And, but we had this, we both scored this as kind of, this was a whooping. This is the biggest whooping that we've seen so far in album fights.
Yeah.
But I can't overstate how much I love Pink.
Yeah.
And I think the difference here between these two albums, and this is Pink as an artist just finding herself, and boy did she find herself.
Boy.
And she had to push and push in the environment that she was in. She's like, hey, I'm a white girl. I got to do my thing, and I got L.A. Reid, and L.A. Reid's going to tell me to do something, but I'm going to say, L.A., I know me, and I got to get with me, and I'm so elated that she's done that, and she's given us so much joy from this record and after. Alanis Morissette, on the other hand, did it all right here, and she left it all on the field.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, she didn't have anything left after this. But boy, did she fucking leave it all on the field.
So I don't know that she didn't have anything left, but this was the peak, and it was pretty brilliant. She won Grammys from 1996 to 1999 and got nominated all the way into 2001. So if you want to say that she didn't have anything left, it's because this album was so good. They're like, we're going to give you Grammys on the strength, because there were Grammys after this album, and that is an incredible accomplishment. And you're right. Your House is an incredible song. Her ability to do that. And I don't want her to have to go through that kind of a breakup relationship thing again, because she's so powerful when she does these things. And she's done breakups since then. But, yeah, she hasn't captured the imagination, partly because she captured it so deeply. She's still there. It's hard to sell albums after that. You can't go back to that trick and go, I'm really going to hit you in your heart with this breakup and growth story. You know, she's got to find some different way to do it. And I don't fault her for not getting there again, because when you sell 33 albums in one album, the people that are your peers are significant names. I don't know that Bon Jovi, one of the biggest acts of all time, ever sold 33 million albums in one shot. I think they've done 20 a couple of times, but that's what we're talking about in terms of impact.
That's what we're dealing with, is the ability to do 33 million albums on a crazy ass fluke at age 19. Holy shit. And Bon Jovi, well, they said, no, we don't have a 33, but we've got two 25s and a 19 or something.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's nothing wrong with the way they did theirs either. But you're right. And it's just amazing to me that she didn't just fucking kill herself, because how do you follow this? And in your life, how do you reckon with that you put something out that can't possibly be followed?
Right.
Or do you chase it for the rest of your life and live in a wallowing in your unsuccess, you know, being pissed off and borderline suicidal because you only sold 8 million or something?
Yeah, and that's a thing.
That's
absolutely a thing. How does the 52-year-old Alanis, and she's not 52 yet, but how does she deal with playing her 19-year-old songs? You know, it's there has to be a maturation and a growth, but maybe her audience grows with her. Maybe she can play whatever the fuck she wants because she says so, and she's Alanis, and she's always going to get gigs. I don't know. I do know that as we've talked about this concept and as we built it, we talked about the albums that are above that bar. And this is certainly one of those albums. And I think we see a clear delineation between what the true greatest albums of all time club looks like and what a very fun, great album looks like in terms of Pink. She's not in that club. And, you know, I submit that maybe Huey Lewis and the New Sports is the bar. Maybe it's below that, but it's not Pink.
We may look back and say, wow, Pink sure did have, she's got longevity on her side. She's consistent, you know, Bon Jovi-esque consistency. But this is an album fight. And in this album fight, Jagged Little Pill was the album victorious. Not by a little.
Yeah. By a lot. If only because there aren't knockouts, we want to celebrate the whole album that we continue to go through it. But man, it's been awesome. I can't wait to do the next one. Do we want to announce it now?
Yeah, this is great. Even though this was a whooping, this was still a lot of fun. So yeah, let's announce it now. Fire away.
All right, so our next album fight is going to be Jimi Hendrix Experience Axis Bold as Love versus Journey Escape.
You know what's fucked up? I can't win either way.
No. I haven't told your wife what the songs are, and if you guys don't know, John's wife is a bonkers Journey fan. And I asked her specifically, Mike, if I'm going to put up Journey in a really nasty fight, what's your album? What are you bringing? And she's the expert. She gets to pick. And she said that it's got to be Journey Escape. So Escape versus Axis Bold as Love. That's what's coming up.
Okay. That's going to be fun, man.
Yes, it will.